Hey everyone, have you ever wanted to own your own empire? Leave your competition in the dust and have the most popular product in the country? Well, today we're going to show you how. Well, maybe. But we're going to teach you how to play Top Hop. Top Hop is an area control set collection game where you are the owner of a soda brand trying to expand your soda pop empire into different cities to become the next soft drink king or queen. Let's take a look at the components first. The city deck consists of cards representing up to 7 different cities that you'll be competing over. The number in the top left here shows how many of each city card are in the deck. One card for each city will be a nightscape, which affects how it's played, but we'll get into that in just a moment. The city deck is constructed differently based on the number of players. You can find that breakdown in the rulebook. Alright, let's get this game set up. For this example, we'll be setting up a 3-player game first. Gather the city cards for St. Louis, New York, San Francisco, Las Vegas, and Chicago, and shuffle them to create the city deck. Have each player choose their soda company board. Add each player's bottle caps to a supply in the middle of the table. Any colors not being used can be returned to the game box. Give each player their starting resources based on turn order. The first player will receive a hand of 3 cards from the city deck and 1 pop cap in their own color. Player 2 will receive 3 cards and 2 caps of their color, and the third player will get 4 cards, one of which they can place face up in front of them, and 1 cap of their color. Now these starting resources are going to vary based on the number of players, so make sure that you confirm what you need in the rulebook. And that's the setup. Each player's turn consists of 5 different phases. The first phase in each turn is when city cards are actually won, but that's not going to make a lot of sense right now, so we'll come back to that in a moment. The next phase is to place a city card from your hand into the play area. Now it can be placed either in front of you or in front of another player. This city is now in play and can be influenced by you and the other players. The reason you want to place a card in front of another player is because this allows you to gain a pop cap from the supply in that player's color. And this is the only way to choose more than 1 cap in a turn. There's one special rule when placing one of the nighttime city cards. These are always placed face down. You, of course, will know what city it is, and whoever you play it in front of can look at it, but the city will remain hidden from all the other players unless they win the card. Phase 3 is to select a pop cap of any color of your choosing from the supply. Next, in Phase 4, we place stacks of pop caps on city cards. This represents you spending resources to gain influence in those cities. You can place as many stacks on as many city cards as you wish, as long as you meet certain requirements. So let me explain. First, any stack of pop caps must have a cap of your own color on the top. This is how you'll be able to identify which stack belongs to which player. Second, when you place a stack, it must then be the tallest stack of caps on a card. If there are stacks on the city card that belong to other players, any stack you place must include at least 1 cap of the player with the current highest stack. So for instance, the green player here currently has the tallest stack with 4 caps. The yellow player already has a stack of 2 caps, so they can add these 3 caps to this existing stack. They're including a green cap since the green player has the tallest stack at the moment, and they'll top off the stack with a yellow cap. The final phase of a player's turn is to draw a city card from the deck. If there are no city cards remaining, just skip this step. Now, let's circle back around to the first phase of each player's turn, and that is the winning city cards phase. This phase should make a lot more sense now that we've gone over the other phases of a turn. At the beginning of your turn, look at all the city cards in play. If you own the tallest stack on any of those cards, you win that city card. For each card you win, and it is possible to win multiple cards in a turn, all of the caps in the tallest stack are given to the player that the card is in front of, unless that city card is in front of you, in which case the caps in the tallest stack, or your stack, are returned to the supply. Any other players who have stacks on that card get their caps back. You take the card and place it face down in the score pile in front of you. And if you win your 6th card, you trigger the final round. Once a player has won their 6th card, this will be their final turn. Then each other player will get one final turn. Now these turns will play just like any other. No new city cards will be played in the final round though, so you can skip phase 2. After the last player's final turn, any remaining city cards in play are won by whichever player has the tallest stack on them. Cards with no stacks or remaining in players' hands are discarded. Once the last player has taken their final turn and the remaining city cards are won, final scoring will begin. Now, scoring is based on 2 criteria: majority and diversity. First players count up how many cards they've won for each city. Whoever has the most cards for a city will score 2 points for each card. Now, if there's a tie for most, each player who tied will score 1 point for each card. Anyone who doesn't have a majority or tie for majority gets no points for that city. So in this example, the blue player has the majority of the Chicago city cards. So they'll score 2 points for each card for a total of 6 points. Since the yellow and green player did not have a majority, they receive 0 points for Chicago. Now, in the event that the blue and yellow players tied for the majority of Chicago cards, they would have each received 1 point for each card, giving them a total of 2 points for Chicago. Repeat this scoring method for each city. Then, each player will get points based on how many different cities are represented in their score pile. If you only have 1 city in your score pile, you get 0 points. 2 cities will get you 2 points, 3 cities, 4 points, 4 cities, 6 points, and so on up to 12 points for 7 different cities. Total up the majority and diversity points, and the player with the highest total is the winner. If there's a tie, the tied player with the most pop caps wins. And that is how you play Top Pop. So gather up some of your most competitive friends and see who has the business sense to be the best soda in the country. That does it for this video. If you found it helpful, give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe so you can be one of the first to know when we release something new. Until next time.